Hey folks, tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. It's one of the most well-known and repeated Spanish proverbs from the 16th and the 17th century. And as the great American coach Jim Rohn also says, you are the average of 5 people you spend most of your time with. Hey folks, John here. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back once again to This World, My Take, where the headlines meets real talk. I hope you guys are off to a great week start. It's a new week and I'm wishing you all the best. Folks, before we get into what I want to say today, I would like you to think about supporting the platform. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and turn on your notification so that whenever we do drop something on the channel, you get notified first. Thank you in advance. And with that said, let's get into why we are here. So, folks, I recently came upon something published by the Business Insider. It's about this black book from disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, and it's really interesting what is in that book. But before we get into all that, I want to say this. The Jeffrey Epstein case cover-up with the Trump administration has been blown up out of proportion, and it has been the focus and the center of conversation in the political milieu today. And I will say this. Although it started like a conspiracy theory, if you ask me, it's not really a conspiracy theory. It started like a way to distract the American people from the Texas flood by the Trump administration's push to, to disguise and camouflage its incompetence. This whole Epstein situation has blown up in the face of Donald J. Trump. Now, let me say this. In February, if you guys remember, folks, Trump's AG Pam Bundy was on an interview on Fox, and she was heard saying that after being asked by the reporter, what about the Epstein file? And she said, it is on my table, and I'm going over it. I'm going through it as per the president's order. Fast forward a couple of weeks ago, she came out to say that after a review with the DOJ, they have decided that there's actually no Epstein file, no clientele list. Now, we all know that the Wall Street Journal also mentioned that the DOJ officials actually met with Donald J. Trump and told him that his name was all over the file, which actually led to this man asking them to put at least 1,000 personnel to go over and they should flag down. Let me repeat that. They were given the instructions to flag down anything that has to do with Donald J. Trump. Whenever his name came up, they were supposed to flag it down. Now let's go back to that old Spanish, proverb. Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, our environment actually leads and molds us. We have seen Donald Trump repeatedly come online and during meetings and press conferences to say that he doesn't even know this guy.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. It just seems like a desecration.
Yes, that was Donald J. Trump being mad that reporters are still asking AG Pam Bundy to clarify what she mentioned by, there's nothing to see here, let's move forward. Now, when a man acts like this, as you can see, the question wasn't really asked to Donald J. Trump, but he just jumped in like somebody who is actively trying to protect himself or to cover up. To his mind, he thought that maybe A.G. Pam Bundy wasn't up to par to be able to answer and fend off these reporters. Now, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. The reason for this vlog is about this black book, Jeffrey Epstein's address book, which Business Insider already posted out something about it. And I want you to watch this.
This is Donald Trump's phone number in Jeffrey Epstein's personal little black book from the 1990s. In 2021, Business Insider obtained an address book no one had ever seen before.
Jeffrey Epstein got away with what he got away with because of who was in his address book.
While the Trump administration says it won't disclose more files on Epstein, the older address book reminds us of Epstein's vast connections to prominent figures, including Melania Trump's best friend, Christopher Cuomo's wife, and an advisor in the first Trump administration.
There are names that are highlighted, and I think one of the most notable highlighted names is former President Donald Trump.
Suzanne Urcha, Melania Trump's best friend. She later married Woody Johnson, who now owns the New York Jets.
Carl Icahn, special advisor to Donald Trump during his presidency.
Christina Grieven, the wife of Christopher Cuomo.
Jill Harth accused Donald Trump of sexual assault.
Stephen Ratner led Barack Obama's efforts to resuscitate Detroit.
Marty Peretz, longtime mentor to former Vice President Al Gore. Les Gelb was a legendary New York Times columnist. Sandy Warner was the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan until 2000. Billionaire John Katzimatidis, who told us that he offered Epstein a ride and Epstein sent him a 3-foot bottle of champagne and thanks. So here's Donald Trump's entry in the 1990s address book. You can see that his Palm Beach phone numbers feature a 407 area code. Now, if we look at Trump's entry in the address book from the early 2000s, you can see that he has the same phone numbers listed for Palm Beach, but with a different area code, 561, and that area code was introduced in 1996.
Well, folks, as you can see, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein was actually a weapon. And what do I mean by a weapon? From his address book, from what you just watched, the people that this man knew and the dirt that this man had on these people. Well, I'm not here to say that everybody on that black book is guilty. No, far from that. But we all know that so many people have been facing scandal, especially Prince Andrew of the UK, of this, sexual trafficking, sexual fornicating with young and underage women. Now, if Donald Trump's name is not on that book, it would have been a different conversation. But if Jeffrey Epstein could actually have Donald J. Trump information and numbers from both that era and the updated era prior to this man dying in prison suspiciously, it goes to tell you that Donald Trump actually knows this guy. And if we work by the Spanish proverb from the 16th and the 17th century, Donald Trump definitely participated in some of these disgusting things that Jeffrey Epstein is accused of, participating. The sex trafficking, the raping of underage women, and so on and so forth. Now, let me say this. We see this man doing everything that he can to distance himself from Jeffrey Epstein's, but we all know something. And just like the great American coach, Jim Rohn said, you are the average of 5 people with whom you spend the time most with. And we all know that Jeffrey Epstein on a video has said that Donald J. Trump was one of his best friends. And we heard from Michael Wolff, the great American author, also stating that when he was interviewing, talking to late Jeffrey Epstein made it clear that him and Donald J. Trump were friends, like they were like this. Now, I want to end this vlog by asking you, do you still believe what this man is saying all over social media and all over media houses and the news stations, that he doesn't know Jeffrey Epstein and that he wasn't involved with everything? And if you do believe that, I will ask you this. If somebody is innocent, why don't they try to release some of these documents so that the American people can judge? Or maybe this man has something to hide, and those who are on the list, we need to know exactly. This world is complicated, folks, and we will keep talking about it. Stay blessed and do not forget to support the platform.